Most emotional zodiac signs. Some people are so emotional that simply being around them is an emotional roller coaster. They'll regale you with their inner musings, talk you through a moral quandary, and maybe even cry because the sunset is too beautiful or a puppy is too cute during your time together. It's safe to say these people feel it all, the good, the bad, and the seemingly insignificant. Their highly emotional personalities, interestingly, could be attributed to their horoscope sign. Astrologers tell us about the zodiac's most emotional signs, from the slightly sensitive to the hyper-hysterical. Do you want to know where your zodiac sign falls on the emotional spectrum? You've arrived at the right place. We ranked all of the signs from least emotional to most emotional, and then explained why. Continue reading to find out how each sign handles their emotions. Least emotional to most emotional signs. Number 12, Virgo. Virgos are not the type to open up about their emotions or their problems. They do, however, process their emotions internally and usually use healthy coping mechanisms to work through their problems. They frequently use exercise, artistic hobbies, or the most recent projects in their careers to get things done. They rarely need to communicate with others in order to identify and heal their emotional side. They are one of the few signs in the zodiac that are truly adept at controlling their emotions. Number 11, Aquarius. Detached, apathetic people. Aquarians appear to be emotionally detached from their own feelings, with no compassion or empathy. Aquarians are sometimes in such deep denial that they believe they don't have emotions at all. These natives are obsessed with logic and reasoning. They prefer to think about a solution rather than listen to, or look for, their instincts. They also have little empathy for others and believe that showing emotions or acting on them is unreasonable, unattractive, and unprofessional. It is unusual for Aquarius to have an outburst, but when they do, it is because Aquarius could no longer contain their bottled-up emotions. They will blame their outbursts on something else, but their uncontrolled emotions are almost always to blame. Number 10, Sagittarius. Self-regulators who just need a confidant. Sagittarius is similar to Virgo in that they are adept at identifying, controlling, and then processing their emotions in a healthy manner. The only difference between Sagittarius and Virgo is that Sagittarius requires the help of a friend, family member, lover, or therapist to process their emotions. Sagittarius can try to sort through their emotions through work or hobbies in a pinch, but this is not nearly as effective as confiding in another trusted person. Number 9, Leo. Masked feelings and standoffish behavior. While Leos exhibit all of the characteristics of a highly emotional person, they are able to control these traits through masking, quietness, and, on occasion, a tough, harsh approach to life. Leos are not necessarily people pleasers, but they are concerned with their presence and image. Leos have mastered the art of concealing themselves, keeping the conversation light, and even blocking themselves from ever feeling their own emotions because they are overly self-conscious of how they appear and fear that others will judge them for their thoughts or feelings. Leos are not good at masking as children. This skill develops with age and experience. Number 8, Capricorn. Highly driven people with little time. Capricorn aspires to be like Virgo, who is steadfast, quiet, and self-sufficient, but they fall short. These natives have lofty goals for themselves, including becoming a successful professional, a supportive partner, and a dedicated, loving parent. They feel obligated to do so much that sorting through their feelings isn't near the top of their priority list. While they are good at concealing their emotions when it matters most, they will occasionally have a meltdown in less professional or lower stakes situations. It is also worth noting that, while Capricorn believes they are acting out of obligation and to better themselves, their actions are usually motivated by love for another person or love for a group of people, such as their family. Number 7, Taurus. Controlled highs and lows. When it comes to emotions, Taurus is a difficult sign to rank. On the one hand, they are extremely adept at concealing their emotions when necessary. They never have uncontrollable or unexpected outbursts in public. On the other hand, when Taurus returns home after a particularly stressful day, they are likely to have a complete meltdown, complete with ugly crying, some yelling, and even unexpected coping mechanisms. Taurus may work through their feelings by baking a dozen batches of cookies, and then cheerfully giving them away to coworkers or neighbors, hatefully screaming into a pillow, or taking an intense CrossFit class to work through rage, hurt, or emotional pain, depending on the situation. Regardless, Taurus is in command in public and remains in command even when experiencing a private breakdown. Number 6, Scorpio. Emotionally intelligent water signs. While Scorpios were not ranked as one of the most sensitive signs, we believe they have high emotional intelligence, EQ, and the gift of intuition. These natives, on the other hand, are in control of their thoughts and emotions and are far less expressive than their fellow water signs. They have a lot of strong emotions inside, but they are grounded people who can rationally talk themselves through them. If a Scorpio ever has an emotional outburst, it is most likely due to overstimulation with no way to regulate or escape the situation. Number 5. Libra, the balancing act. Libra, true to their nature of balancing the scales, will go to war with themselves to avoid being overly emotional. Their emotions rarely manifest as yelling or full meltdowns, but rather as self-destructive behavior, periods of hiding from the world, and then periods of acting manic, not needing to eat or sleep. Simultaneously, they work themselves to death in the name of progress. Number 4. Gemini, a happy comedian facade. Geminis are rarely comfortable expressing their emotions in public. Instead, they use humor as a coping and commutative tool. The world is an intense place for them, and they are constantly analyzing their surroundings, stressing about what-if scenarios, and seeing the worst in situations. Few people notice these characteristics in Gemini because these natives are experts at projecting a carefree, lighthearted demeanor to mask the turmoil and unrest that exists within them. Geminis desperately need a close friend or lover to confide in, someone who sees past their upbeat exterior and can help them work through their emotions. Fortunately, Geminis are receptive to this assistance and are eager to reciprocate by assisting the other person in working through their emotions. Number 3. Aries, raging outbursts. Aries are known for their volatile tempers and lack of emotional control. Unlike Pisces, these intense waves of emotion are not, at all, beneficial to Aries. These people are impulsive, impatient, competitive, and combative. It's no surprise, then, that they can act erratically and appear to lose control in a fit of rage. They do not feel responsible for their anger and believe that it is everyone else's responsibility not to irritate them, rather than their own, to regulate their emotions. Some Aries even believe that anger isn't an emotion at all. Number 2. Pisces, intuitive humanitarians. Pisces, like the other water signs, are intuitive people who are in tune with their own emotions as well as the emotions of those around them. These natives feel a strong obligation to meet the emotional needs of others, which is exhausting and contributes to their own dysregulation. They are easily overwhelmed, and when this occurs, their emotions are all over the place and completely out of control. Nonetheless, these natives have exceptional emotional intelligence, and their introspective tendencies are among their greatest assets. Number 1. Cancer, overthinkers who still lead with their feelings. Cancers, like Pisces, are open, honest, and loving people who thrive on the positive energy of others. Unfortunately, they are equally vulnerable to any negative emotions that may linger nearby. A Cancer's life is an emotional roller coaster with incredible highs and devastatingly low lows. They overthink almost everything in their lives, which causes stress and anxiety. Overthinking becomes overwhelming, so they usually set all their thoughts aside and make decisions based on their emotions. Going with their gut instinct can be advantageous at times and detrimental at others. Cancers are unquestionably the most sensitive of the zodiac signs.